One of the most common questions I hear is a lot of people ask is, if we have such a loving God, why is there so much suffering in the world? When you ask this question, I think you have to be honest and also ask the opposite question. If there isn't a loving God, why is there so much love in this world? So, we can kind of go down the list and you can say things like, babies die every day. There's hurricanes and there's tornadoes and people die in car wrecks and people kill people. So this means that there's no God. Or you can go down another list and say, mothers give birth every day. People love their siblings every day. People go to church and people give to the poor every day. And there's people helping people for no reason that they aren't getting anything back. So that means there is a God. Well, when you look at it and you see that there's both good and bad, that means you go to the Bible and you take the Bible for everything it says. It says, yes, there is a good God, but the Bible also says that man has corrupted the good world that he created. When the world was first created, it was created good and perfect, as we would expect. But after sin entered the world, this is when disease, this is when pride and all these other things start entering the world also. So the world we live in now is a world of suffering. But through this suffering is how God works. God's glory is shown through suffering. And another thing, I think we look at death as an unfair thing. We'll say things like, this innocent child died, or this person who was such a good person or a righteous person, he died, and it's unfair. Or we'll look in the Bible and we'll see the Canaanites, that were slaughtered. But a verse that I don't think a lot of people have heard that really puts us into a different context is Isaiah 57, 1 through 2. The righteous perish, and no man layeth it to heart, and merciful men are taken away, but none consider that the righteous is taken away from the evil to come. He shall enter into peace. They shall rest in their beds, each one walking in his uprightness. You see, although we look at this life as this is all there is to it, and if that's it, if that really is it, then there's really no such thing as a good or evil. It's just whatever happens when it just happens. Just like a fly getting swatted, doesn't really matter. But the same thing, it doesn't really matter how long you live or if you did this or did that, or if you help people or not. It doesn't really matter. Everyone's gonna die. So if there is no God, then it doesn't matter. But if there is a God, there is a good and evil. And when someone dies in this body, that's not the end. As the verse says, and merciful men are taken away, but none consider that the righteous is taken away from the evil to come. There's a lot of verses also in the Bible that tell us that, to die is gain. Paul even said that, to die is to go home to be with God. And there's a lot of pain that everyone has coming in their life. And if God is ushering someone to the afterlife, to heaven, to be with him for eternity, then there's actually nothing bad about that. I guarantee you, anybody that's in heaven right now does not want to come back down here. So no matter what you may think about, if there's someone in heaven, they're doing a lot better than you are. So we have to keep this in mind whenever we're thinking about the suffering in the world. That's all for a purpose, and also that we don't see the overall view that God sees. So it's something to think about.
Do take good care of yourself.